Welcome to the Psychology of Influence at Work. 25 things you need to know. At Threshold, we train business leaders in the art of influence. And here we answer some of the standout questions raised by participants in our sessions based on the hard evidence. We often train business leaders in communicating across cultures. Recently, we've been working with the European HQ of a large Asian bank. Now, East to West communications can often be the most vexing. But what role does culture play? We know that Anglo-American cultures tend to be more individualistic, whereas East Asian cultures tend to be more collectivist, more holistic. In fact, the difference is so strong that we can even observe it at the level of sensory perception. A study by Takahiko Masuda and Richard Nesbitt in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology had a sample of subjects from America and a sample of subjects from East Asia look at the same picture and describe what they saw. Americans tend to focus on the central figure and talk about them in detail. Asians are more likely to take in the whole picture and talk about all of it, especially the way in which each bit relates to everything else. Now, eye tracking software shows that eye movements actually differ between Americans and East Asians. Again, the Americans focus on the central figure while the Asians take in the whole image. And when Americans are asked to take in the whole image and Asians to focus just on the central figure, neuroimaging scans show that the brain literally has to work harder. But what's remarkable is not just how deep these differences in culture are. Research also shows how fluid and temporary they are. In the words of Robert Sapolsky, Stanford professor of neurology and biology, it takes just one generation for immigrants from East Asia to the US to be as individualistic as Americans. One generation and the difference disappears. Culture is always changing, and the evidence shows that we humans have far more similarities than differences. We train leaders to be sensitive to culture, but be careful not to overestimate the power of culture. What we all have in common is we all value being listened to, being understood, and being affirmed. To find out more about Threshold and how we can help people in your organization to get the best out of human beings, go to threshold.co.uk.